Oh man, it's gonna be crazy over there in Arizona, man. They going buck wild in Phoenix, Arizona. What's going on? This man, baby Chavez. Baby Chavez, man, they throwing stuff at him. Oh my God, they throwing beers at him, all kind of stuff. Man, this is looking like shades of Adrian Broner versus Maidana. The Hispanic contingent out in Phoenix, Arizona ain't playing. They not having this, man. They not having this. Fourth round quit from Baby Chavez versus Danny Jacobs, man. I can't believe what I'm seeing, man. I can't believe. Hit that thumbs up. B Marsh Boxing. Ain't no eavesdropping up in this piece. Please do not come here to eavesdrop. If you're gonna come here, man, come in this room. Hit that thumbs up on your way in, on your way out. Stop eavesdropping. That's what we're not gonna do over here. I'm coming at you live and direct. Post fight review. B Marsh Boxing. Baby Chavez in Arizona. Stop eavesdropping. Hit that thumbs up because tonight is chaos. It's chaotic over there in Arizona, man. Danny Jacobs just got bailed out. He did. Baby Chavez, I don't know what's on his mind. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he suffered any significant injuries. I'm hearing them talking about a broken hand. I don't know. Knowing Baby Chavez, he took the money and ran. You know what I'm saying? This is what this man is known to do. B Marsh Boxing, man. Wow. Wow. Let me hear what this guy, Danny Jacobs, got to say. Hey, man, they throwing stuff into the ring. Holy shit, look at Danny Jacobs looking over his shoulder. Look at, hey, man, they don't need to do this interview in the ring. Oh, man, look at Danny Jacobs ducking. Hey, man, they throwing beers, dogs. Cans. Straight Modelos and Coronas out there. Danny Jacobs talking about, let me enjoy my victory, baby. Hey, Danny Jacobs, hey, his team need to get him up out of there. This post-fight review interview is not that important. Wow. Drama in Phoenix, Arizona. This man, Danny Jacobs, looked like a flyweight next to this man, Baby Chavez, too. You know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs usually a big middleweight. Yeah. I know that. I remember this guy was a Fugazi champ, Chavez Jr., with a middleweight strap that he was handed by the WBC. And he was a big middleweight. And I thought Danny Jacobs was a big middleweight, but not tonight. Yes, I do know the man. The man came in at 173 pounds on the scales. Danny Jacobs at 167. Whoa. That fella, Danny Jacobs, said he fought a cruiserweight tonight. Yo. Hey, man, Baby Chavez, I don't want to see this guy ever again on my TV, dogs. If you watch this fight tonight, you should have seen his pops. His pops had that emoji type of face where you got your hand over your head like, hey, we used to call that the Bruce Willis, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, when back in the day when somebody had some bush weed, you know, some dirt weed, you call that shit the Bruce Willis. Somebody ask you, why you call it the Bruce Willis? You remember how Bruce Willis in Die Hard and all them shows, moonlighting in all them movies, he'd have his hand over his head, just shaking his head like that's the Bruce Willis, you know what I mean? And that's the exact kind of face that Chavez Sr., the legend, Julio Cesar Chavez had the whole time, even right before the stoppage, you know what I mean? Wow. Let's get into this post-fight review, man. I just had to witness this drama right quick, man. This is something like that fight I was at. Uh, but not quite as severe. Andre Durrell versus Jose Uzcategui. Anyways, let's get into this, man. Round one is a jab contest. You know what I mean? Chavez Sr. is throwing some nice lead left hooks. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But Danny Jacobs, he's jabbing. He's throwing the double jab. You know what I'm saying? To the head and stomach and straight right hands. A few of them landing by the man, what's his name, Chavez Jr. You know, that's what actually was his best punch of the night, to be honest. This fight only went 4 rounds, but he caught Danny Jacobs at least in every round once or twice with mean lead right hands. You know what I'm saying? He was applying pressure the whole night. Round two, Chavez applying pressure, but Jacobs using circular motion, lateral movement, moving to his left. And you know what I'm saying? Jacobs using his jab in a kind of fencing type of. Look at the man. Look at Chavez Sr., man. He's blown, man. He's pissed. He's mad tight tonight. But look, you know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs is kind of fencing with the jab. Chavez in round two wasn't quite letting his right hand go. Round three was a close round that I gave the baby Chavez. At least two overhand rights that backed up the man Danny Jacobs. Clean flush overhand rights caught him flush on the jaw. You know what I mean? Danny Jacobs is using his jab and right uppercut on the inside, but best punches of the round go to Chavez. You know what I mean? Right hook on the left side of Danny Jacobs' rib cage right before the round ends. You know what I'm saying? But in round four, Chavez was. I gave him that round as well. You know, he was landing some beautiful, clean lead right hands. You know what I mean? Like this fight, if it went 12 rounds, it was gonna be a tight fight. Like it was gonna be close. And I was watching this fight, and I was watching saying, you know, I heard a lot of people shitting on the man Danny Jacobs for taking Baby Chavez for his first fight at 168. I wasn't really mad at the fight, you know what I mean? I wanted Danny Jacobs to rid this man, get him up out the sport, but Danny Jacobs ain't even had to do too much. Because after the fifth round, this man nose was leaking. Baby Chavez, you know what I mean? His nose was leaking. He was standing in his corner. The man didn't even take a seat. He ain't sit on his stool. He getting the blood wiped from his nose. Freddie Roach in his corner talking to him. Then they asked him if he wanted to continue. The man said no. Hey, word to my mother, man, and word to my daughter. That's my word. When they asked him, do you want to continue? I absolutely knew this guy would say no. I knew he would say no. There was just something in me. I knew the guy would say no. And when he said no, I was just laughing to myself, man. Daddy, Baby Chavez, man, this guy, man, is a disgrace, dogs. Is this guy even legitimately baby Chavez Senior's son? I don't know. I can't tell, man. You know what I'm saying? But this guy took the money and ran, man, with his dyed hair with the blue patch on the top. Baby Chavez quits. You know what I'm saying? I heard the commentators talking about broken right hand. I'm not too sure. We're gonna get news about this later on down the line. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some tomorrow or later on we'll hear. But we didn't get no post-fight interview from Baby Chavez. He was walking back to the locker room and they were throwing beers. They was covering him up like Adrian Broner versus Mike Down in the Alamo Dome, December of 2013. Was it 2013 in San Antonio, Texas? This shit was crazy, man. Hit that thumbs up, B March Boxing. Please don't come in this piece eavesdropping, man. I'm giving you live and direct post-fight review. Some of y'all wasn't even watching this fight. You come and getting the news straight up from me, you heard? This man, Baby Chavez, is a disgrace. Luis Torres says, LOL, all true Mexicans knew it was for the money. No question about it, man. You know what I'm saying? This guy was probably under PEDs and who knows what else, man. Hit that thumbs up in this piece, man. Don't come in this piece eavesdropping. I don't go to nobody's channel eavesdropping, so don't do that to me. I'm coming with you live and direct with this post-fight review. Very entertaining night of boxing, man. Very entertaining fight, man. This fight between Christopher Rosales versus Julio Cesar Martinez on the undercard. And then the main event tonight, which was about to be a great fight. I'm trying to tell you, dogs. Danny Jacobs, man, he probably might have lost this fight. And I'm telling you this because the man, Baby Chavez, won round 3 and 4 on my card. I'm sitting here watching this big dude towering over Danny Jacobs, and I was like, can Danny Jacobs, you really use this kind of lateral movement and withstand that pressure all single round, every single round from here on till the distance? I'm not too sure, man. But the guy, Baby Chavez, didn't even give himself a chance, you know what I mean? Didn't even give himself a chance to, have one of the biggest upsets of the year, you know what I mean? This guy probably, I'm not going to say we never going to see him in the ring again. I sure as hell don't want to see this jag off of my ring again, in the ring again. On my TV at that, you know what I mean? This guy, man, just robbed us of what was about to be a great fight. You check it. Luis Torres says he wants money for coke. LOL. Sure enough, yes he do, man. You already know. Coke and weed, you know what I'm saying? Morta and cocaina. You know how the man Baby Chavez do. You know what I mean? And PEDs. You check it. Some clenbuterol in the Mexican meat. You already know how he do. Road to office for advocacy and consolation. He says it's ashamed. Question mark. I guess. I mean, I'm not quite sure what if you're asking if I'm not sure. You're gonna have to rephrase that. Jaime Cardenas. He says La Neta Vale Varga Chavez Jr. No heart. Hey man, people coming to this piece right in Spanish, dogs. I'm gonna try to read it out. Hey, I got Roberto Levia says yo todavía tenía esperanza pero que con mucho verga de hoy para delante. I don't know what that means, man, but I appreciate you coming here, man, and spitting it how you see it. And I'm pretty sure I don't understand what my man Jaime Cardenas and Roberto Levia said, but all I do, I'm pretty sure they saying this man ain't got no cojones and got no heart for what he did tonight, man. I'm sitting here watching this fight like, yo, Danny Jacobs getting caught with flush right hands. You know what I'm saying? This guy's putting pressure on this guy in rounds 3 and 4. Then the man quits. That is a joke. Man, is a straight up joke, you heard? All right, where we at in the chat, man? Humans in pain. What's up, humans in pain? Says crazy that this MF quit. You ain't lying. Luke King says Chavez a quitter. Canelo is Mexican. Nah, Jose Juan Francisco Estrada is Mexican. You know what I mean? He ain't never been popped for no steroids. You check it. Them fellas, Juan Francisco Estrada fights the best of the best in every division when he moves up in weight. He don't do like Cannoli, picking the weak links. That's what we're not going to do over here, man. If you're going to give any Mexican props, give it to the right ones. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Damaso Diaz says his father would have died in that ring. His father almost died tonight seeing his son quit. This guy was disgusted, man. Chavez Sr. was disgusted, dogs. That man had that Bruce Willis look like, oh my gosh. Hand over his head like, no. Oh my goodness, man. Man, hey, Damasco Diaz says Chavez Sr. disowned him. I agree, man. You should disown that guy. Get a paternity test, man. That kid ain't yours. You know what I mean? Robert Leva says, I had hope for Chavez, but now he can eat some peanuts. Jaime Cordania says, you're doing a great job, G. It's a shame he has been using his dad's name to make money. It's a shame he's only a world champion because the Mexican sanctioning body, WBC, stripped Sergio Martinez for a title, for nothing. They took away that man's title just to give it to the man, Baby Chavez, man. Baby Chavez took steroids. Them fellas ain't even take a drug test after he beat Andy Lee. He refused to take one. He refused to take a drug test for this fight. He was probably juiced to the gills. And the man still quit. Yo, this guy's an entertaining joke. I can't lie, man. He's made my evening tonight. A word to mother, man. Hit that thumbs up. B Marsh Boxing, please hit that thumbs up when you come in the room. And on your way out, hit that thumbs up. We're doing this live and direct. Danny Jacobs versus Baby Chavez post-fight review. All right, where we at? Buck sale for real. Hashtag boxing is rigged. Disgusting from fans too. Yeah, the fans were disgusting too, man. How you gonna throw bottles at the man Danny Jacobs, dogs? Danny Jacobs was in the ring doing a post-fight interview. The man ducked like 4 times from beer cans, Modelos, and Coronas being thrown at his noggin, man. What part of the game is that, man? Now, for a Mexican fan base throwing it at Baby Chavez, man, that's your prerogative, man. Y'all fellas, and that Phoenix, Arizona gym, that arena, wherever they was fighting at, man, it was packed. You know what I'm saying? They had a good turnout tonight on a Friday night. You know what I mean? They had a good turnout, man. Now, if they want to throw bottles of beer at the man, Baby Chavez, I ain't mad at them because Baby Chavez let him down, man. The guy, look, if the guy was won rounds 3 and 4, you know what I mean? He was landing some beautiful, lead right hands, nice body shots. Danny Jacobs couldn't get out the way of them lead right hands. You know what I'm saying? Haymakers, overhand rights. And then the man quits. He got his nose busted up in round 4, though. Then the man quits. Yeah, I agree with you, Boxeo, for real. That was disgusting from the fans. Ricardo Esperanza says, well, at least my tickets were free. You at the fight, Ricardo Esperanza? Are you at the fight? If you were, man, I'm sure it's a night you'll never forget. Oh, man. Farticus Maximus, what's up with you, man? He's in the chat, says, but Jacobs didn't even win round 5. Then he quit. Why? This guy's... Only he could answer that, really and truly. I can't even comprehend why he quit. You know what I mean? I can't even answer why the man quit. The man was coming back strong, winning rounds. And then he just quits, just like that. You know what I mean? Alberto Vasquez says he should go to WWE. He'd fit right in. Yeah, no question, man. Or go do some Mexican wrestling, some lucha. What they call it? Is it lucha libre? Is it lucha libre? Go do some Mexican wrestling. You know what I mean? Sabe Hit says, wait, what the F? Why did he quit? I'm hearing he couldn't breathe or got his hand broken. I heard something from the commentators say something about a broken hand. That I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to hear some more news about this, man. But knowing that Baby Chavez, I highly doubt anything happened, man. Jairo Antonio Sanchez, what's up? He says, who won, Jacobs or Chavez? Did you read the title of this video? Did you read the title, my G? Hey, man. Sabe Hit says Chavez because he quit. Sabe Hit says, Jacobs won. Taxes, Daddy Jacobs really beat GGG. He was robbed. Yeah, I had Daddy Jacobs win that fight. Edward Abarca says, he said broken hand. I'll have to hear that from him, you know what I mean? I just heard that from the DAZN commentators, you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, I wasn't even watching. I was watching it on Sky Sports Action, you know what I'm saying? I was watching it on Sky Sports. On my box, I got Sky Sports on my box, you know what I mean? Alberto Vasquez says he does blow and he blows. LMAO. Sabe Hit says, hey, bro, I subscribed to you. See you next time. Salute, Sabe Hit. SSB Hit. I appreciate that. Big ups to everybody who's subscribing. Big ups to everybody who hit the thumbs up. Thanks for coming through and, man, entertaining me as well in the comment section. Y'all a live crew up in here, man. This was some funny stuff tonight. I gotta watch this fight again before I go to sleep, man. It's 12:07 Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? And man, Baby Chavez. I know it's kind of early over there in the West Coast, like 9:07, but this was crazy, man. This was crazy. Arnold Marquez says Chavez hair really matched his quitter theme. That hairstyle, man. That man looked like a big Smurf. You know what I mean? Had the blue patch on top of his dyed hair. Like, come on now. This guy's a man. Chavez Senior shouldn't attend this guy. He should be somewhere in like a press box watching this guy's fight. You can't be ringside, man. That man's just gonna. Your son's just gonna embarrass you, and that's exactly what he did. Chavez Jr. quits tonight. What a fight! Chavez Jr., man, was putting some pressure on Danny Jacobs. That I can't deny. You know what I mean? The overhand rights and the lead right hands were a thing of beauty. You know what I'm saying? But the guy didn't even give himself an opportunity to win the fight because the guy quit. Maybe at the first sign of blood that was dripping from his nose, you know what I'm saying? The man decided, you know what? I don't like that. I don't like this blood. And he got up out of there, you know what I mean? Decided, man, I've had enough of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to wait to hear some more news or maybe hear from Baby Chavez or why exactly he quit. But at the end of the day, it was a great fight for the 4 rounds it lasted. You know, like I said, Danny Jacobs is a big middleweight. You know what I mean? But this man, Danny Jacobs, at super middleweight, the guy looked tiny compared to the man, uh, what's his name? Baby Chavez. Baby Chavez looked like a cruiserweight up in there. You check it. You know what I mean? The man was looking massive up in there. Big dude, big dude. And that's it, man. Danny Jacobs wins this fight. Baby Chavez decides to quit, and it's a wrap, man. And you know, Danny Jacobs should get a fight next between maybe hopefully Eddie Hearn um, can make Callum Smith versus Billy Joe Saunders unification, and maybe Danny Jacobs could get the winner of that. You know what I mean? Or if Canoli picks one of the two, uh, Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith, which I'm hearing are prime candidates for the next to be Canoli's next opponent. You know what I mean? Then Danny Jacobs could fight the other guy. You know what I mean? If Canoli picks Billy Joe Saunders, then I'd like to see Danny Jacobs versus Callum Smith. You know what I mean? But right now, you know what I mean? Eddie Hearn got a lot of guys at the super middleweight. He could make a little tournament of his own over there, or on his own period. They could make a little super middleweight, super middleweight tournament. Leonard Sands says Chavez Jr. is a loser. Absolutely 100%. I agree with you. And he's been a loser before tonight. He was a loser when this guy refused to take a steroid test before this fight. This fight was supposed to be in Las Vegas, but the Las Vegas decided that the Las Vegas Athletic Commission decided not to sanction the fight because the guy refused to take a drug test. You know what I'm saying? And then with that being said, the fight got moved to Arizona. You know what I mean? Arizona probably don't got a strong boxing commission. I don't know if this fight was on an Indian reservation or what over there in Phoenix, Arizona. But what I do know is that the fight went along. Baby Chavez was also suing the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and just this week, fight week, the a judge guarantee gave the man Baby Chavez authorization to go ahead that the fight can happen. You know what I mean? Because this fight was on the verge of not happening, and for whatever reason, Eddie Hearn was hell bent and fixated with still having Danny Jacobs fight this guy, Baby Chavez, regardless of what he was doing or going through in the weeks leading up to this fight, during fight week, and even when the man refused to take a drug test when the fight was initially supposed to be in Las Vegas. So there's a lot of controversy heading into this fight, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that the man Danny Jacobs got the W because this guy I wouldn't doubt was had steroids in his system, and that we can't say I'm reaching or anything because this guy's a predicate. He's a guy who's refused to take PED tests or drug tests after fights like against Andy Lee. You know what I mean? You check it now. Baby Chavez is a guy who doesn't take the sport seriously. The guy tried to seek an advantage by coming in for a bout that was sanctioned at 168 pounds. He came in at 173. Then somehow, some way, they duped Danny Jacobs into accepting that this fight should be fought at the limit, at the max that the man Baby Chavez reached. You know what I mean? 173. You check it, and Danny Jacobs looked like, man, he was about to go to hell and back fighting this guy. You know what I mean? Because Baby Chavez was landing some beautiful lead right hands. You know what I mean? And he was putting pressure on the man Danny Jacobs. You check it. So this fight wasn't going to be a cakewalk for Danny Jacobs, and a lot of people were upset at Danny Jacobs fighting this guy in his first fight at 168. I wasn't upset one bit because I knew how big this guy would be next to Danny Jacobs. Man came in like he looking like a cruiserweight. Tried to seek all kind of advantages. Even paid Danny Jacobs $1 million. The man, Danny Jacobs, got $1 million. Probably the easiest money he's ever made in his life. $1 million just because the guy came in overweight. You know what I'm saying? So more power to the man who did the right thing, making weight, and again, who knows? The fight, man, who knows, man? Maybe there was even both on PDs. Who knows, man? This fight just has a lot of red flags written all over it, man. But at the end of the day, it was entertaining and worthwhile. You know what I mean? Where we at in the chat? Ah, okay. Pablo Sanchez says, "Hola, hey, que cenar tacos con guacamole de pasta." I agree with you 100%. I'm not too sure what you meant, but I hope you flaming up the man, baby Chavez. Low blow champ in the chat says, Stulio Cesar Chavez Jr. Red Cliff in the chat said, Junior really disgraced his pop's legacy again. Junior is a used car salesman of Mexican boxing. He is, man. He is. Pablo Sanchez says, hola, hola, hey, que cenar tacos con guacamole de pasto tengo hambre. Arnold Marquez says, disgusting fight ever. Chavez is a disgrace, period. Dead man walking. Oh, man, they going in. Example says Indian reservation. Yeah, boy, that's probably why this fight got sanctioned, because it was probably on them Indian reservations, man. You know what I mean? Low Blow says, LOL. Our Buena Uricia says, Mexican fans have a lot of passion. They do, man, but you can't throw beer bottles at Danny Jacobs, man. You can't do that. Mexican fans have passion, no question about it. And I'm sure they were disappointed, disgusted, and infuriated with what the man, Baby Chavez, did today. So I'm not saying that it's right that they throw bottles at him, but I can understand why they did throw at him. But don't throw it in the ring. Don't do that, man. Don't do that to Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is not the one who quit tonight. You know what I mean? Danny Jacobs is not the one who stopped the show. The show was going on perfectly fine till the man Baby Chavez quit. You know what I mean? Low ball champ says Stulio quit on the stool again. Yeah, just like them fellas did against Fonfora. You know what I mean? Low blow says it don't matter how big Chavez is. He's some complete trash. Absolutely. Redcliffe says Better Beef should KO Chavez Jr. on GP, man. Better Beef don't need to fight that guy for what? You know what I'm saying? Like for what, man? That guy does not deserve no world title opportunity. You know what I mean? I would love to see it too, sure, but nah, man, that guy don't need to be on TV again, man. Uh, Enter Zona says Chavez no mas. Johan Jehovan Montoya says, I thought Jacobs got hit and Chavez had a chance. Sure enough, he had a chance, man. Them fellas was fighting a good fight in the last two rounds. You know what I mean? Them fellas was landing. He was winning the last couple rounds, but didn't give himself an opportunity to dig in and weather the storm, even if he got injured. You know what I mean? To me, the man saw blood trickling from his nose. Them fellas said, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool. Freddie Roach, let's go home. Let's pack it up, man. Game over. That's what it looked like to me, man. I could be wrong. The man might have really hurt his hand. But how would we know? This guy don't give himself a chance. He's known for doing nut stuff like this all the time. You know what I mean? He's a nutcase. And he gave Danny Jacobs a victory and made Danny Jacobs get $1 million. His easiest $1 million he's ever going to make in his life. You know what I'm saying? Where we at in the chat? Hit that thumbs up and please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Please subscribe. Low blow champ says LOL for real at Red Cliff. Johavan Montoya says if Chavez was disciplined, he could have been great. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, man. We've seen this guy. To me, he was out from that performance he did versus Sergio Martinez. Now, granted, sure enough, them fellas did ruin Sergio Martinez for the rest of his career in that round 12. You know what I mean? I think that the man got a little too confident, Sergio Martinez, and he got caught, got dropped, and he almost got destroyed in the 12th round by Baby Chavez. But Baby Chavez really wet the bed in that fight, didn't do nothing, and that was a pay-per-view. Trigueno85 says Danny Jacob a beast. I don't know if he's a beast. I'm not gonna agree with that. I can't agree with Danny Jacobs being a beast, man. Danny Jacobs really just got let off the hook, man, and he got an easy W tonight from a quitter. You know what I mean? Danny Jacobs was about to get tested by this big mammoth tonight, man. He was towering. Oh, Chavez Jr. was towering over Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was about to go through hell and back, but maybe Chavez didn't even believe in himself. Like I sat here watching rounds 3, 4, and 5. You know what I mean? Rounds 3 and 4. Okay, where we at? Roberto Leva says, my respect for Jacobs. You got to give the guy respect. He didn't quit. His opponent, on the other hand, no respect. Entrazona says, primitive fans. I was actually very primitive, man, and disgusting, man. Shades of Alan Minter versus Marvin Hagler. You know what I'm saying? In England, where the racist fans threw beer bottles at Marvin Hagler when Marvin Hagler won his first world title, you know? But tonight, they threw the beers at both fighters, you know what I mean? And it was disgusting because Danny Jacobs didn't deserve that. Giovan Montoya says Jacob looked vulnerable. He did in them last few rounds. He sure did. He sure did. No question about that. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says Chavez is not a Mexican warrior. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. When we talk about Mexican warriors, man, we want to talk about Juan Francisco Estrada. If you're Mexican, if you're a Mexican boxing fan, if you're from Mexico, the country, if you're a Mexican American, champion that man, Juan Francisco Estrada. I've been championing that guy since 2012 when he had that epic fight with the man Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. You know what I mean? To me, he's been the best pound for pound boxer from Mexico since a man by the name of Dinamita, Juan Manuel Marquez. You know what I mean? This guy, Juan Francisco Estrada, is a pure boxer, a guy who can box on the back foot, a guy who can slug it out and box Mexican style. You know what I'm saying? And he's a guy, is a vicious counterpuncher. You know what I mean? The guy came in the rematch and he did against Rungvisai, who's a bad man, a very good fighter. The guy who knocked out Chocolatito, something that the man Juan Francisco Estrada couldn't do. But Juan Francisco Estrada beat the man Rungvisai in the rematch easily. You know what I mean? I'd like to see a third match because I know that wasn't the best Rungvisai we can see, but that's the guy y'all need to champion. You know what I mean? Not no Julio Cesar Chavez, not no Canoli. Canoli's also a steroid cheat. You know, unlike Canoli, Juan Francisco Estrada goes up in weight classes and he fights the best opponent out there, the best top tier opponents in each division he's in. You know what I mean? We can't say the same for Canoli. You heard? So there's a lot. Look, man, you gotta. You know who else you need to champion if you're a Mexican fan? Champion this young man tonight, who's your new WBC flyweight champion, Julio Cesar Martinez. From the devastation he did to the man Andrew Selby in Mexico, came over to England and bodied Charlie Edwards. Today gave a fellow uh, uh, um, what you call him, Latin American fighter from Nicaragua, a thorough beating today in Christopher Rosales. You got to give props to Julio Cesar Martinez. It's not always about who's the most popular. You know what I'm saying? There's guys on the come up. There's guys who are unheralded. They're not really noticed like that. You got to give these guys their credit because these guys could be your next Morales, Barrera, Ruben Olivares, Carlos Zarate. They could be the next Julio Cesar Chavez. You never know. So you got to give guys props. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Where we at in the chat? Oh, it's a lot of chats, a lot of comments over here. Hitman DZ says Chavez Jr. no mas. Absolutely, he pulled a no mas. Hitman Diaz is laughing. It's me again. Says Chavez Sr. needs a DNA test. He does. He needs a DNA test before the fight and after the fight, and also he needs PED tests. You know what I'm saying? This guy's not related to Chavez Sr. You know what I mean? Some people call him a cartel baby. You know what I mean? Them fellas might be he might be a Juarez cartel baby. You know what I mean? You never know. Sinaloa cartel, Tijuana cartel. You know what I mean? This guy, baby Chavez, is a joke, man. He ain't Chavez Senior's real son. Not quitting like that. You know what I'm saying? Blow champ says Chavez was ready to roll a blunt. Yeah, you already know, man. He's blowing a big L in the back over there in Arizona in the locker room right about now. Humans in Pain says he is going directly to Flacco to cop some coke and a straw. He is, man. You know, he's in Arizona, man. That's a border. That's a what you call it? A border city. You know what I mean? You know, it borders Mexico, man. So you know the yayo and and the mortar is pretty cheap down there. You know what I'm saying? All right, where we at, man? Jehovah Montoya says, "Yep, just in it for the money, man." Gustavo Galando says, "Yeah, he big quit, man. Let's no judge his dad. Let's not judge his dad by this though. Word up, nah, man. His dad's all. Come on, man. Come on, man. His dad's one of the greatest fighters out of Mexico, man. We can't compare. You can't compare one bit. You know what I mean?" Gustavo Galindo said Danny Jacob did what he was supposed to do. He was, I mean, it's easy when a guy quits, man, you know. And I'm not saying Danny Jacobs didn't win no rounds. I gave him 3 rounds. First 2 rounds, you know what I mean? You check it, but he got let off the hook, man, by a known quitter. Carlos Crystal Gallardo says he wouldn't be the first boxer to break his nose or hand. Not at all. Not at all. Deontay Wilder broke his hand versus Chris Ariola, and he still stopped him with one hand. You know what I mean? I've seen uh, what's his name, Andre Berto. Even though he lost to Soto Carras, but he went 12 rounds with a broken shoulder to his rotator cuff. He still fought. You know what I mean? No doubt about it. But Mikey Garcia quit when Orlando Salido, another great Mexican warrior, broke his nose. Mikey Garcia quit. He did. Alrighty then, low blow champ says it's criminal that this is a televised fight. Nah, man, this ain't criminal. It's a televised fight, man. The whole world needs to witness this big jabroni. You know what I'm saying? The whole world needs to witness this guy, baby Chavez, quitting on a big stage in front of a pro Mexican crowd. Everybody needed to see this, man. This is exactly, man. What if this fight wasn't on TV? It was on some TV Azteca or something, or Telemundo. You know what I mean? A lot of American fans, we wouldn't be able to see this fight. You know what I mean? And we'd be just reading the news or headlines about it, searching for copies of trying to watch this fight. I'm glad I seen this live. This was one of the best nights on the zone boxing, really and truly, just for this fight and the undercard, the Christopher Rosales versus Julio Cesar Martinez. Mike 104, what the deal, Mike 104? That's my good man right there. Big up, big up. He's in the chat. He says Chavez forgot his motivational bowl of cereal in the corner to go the distance. Yeah, man, he forgot his Lucky Charms. You know what I mean? Man, remember that 24/7? That man woke up at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in his pink drawers, eating Lucky Charms cereal, and the man was training in the living room. That man was training in his living room in his underwear, man. That man's a joke. Oh man, Carlos Crystal Gallardo says he don't deserve any money. He sure enough doesn't, but he compensated the man Danny Jacobs with $1 million tonight for coming in overweight. Hitman DZ says OG Chavez a real warrior, not Junior. Absolutely 100% right. Lowball champ, that was the highlight of Chavez's career in that 12 versus Martinez. Absolutely, that was the highlight of his career. No question about it. Ricardo Esparza says, was their crowd was crazy. Cokeheads took his money and ran. Was you gonna have to write that again? Not quite sure I understand what you meant. Was their crowd? God, write that again. Redcliffe says, "Can you imagine the cartel putting money on Chavez Jr.? Shameful, man. If they put money on him, they have nobody else to blame but themselves. You can't put no money. You can't bet on this guy. If they did, man, look, man, look, the cartels are crazy. You know what I mean? People lose their lives off bets and stupid stuff like that. But they ain't gonna do nothing to him. Not because he's the son of boxing royalty in Mexico. If they betted on Chavez Jr., you're a big dummy. You deserve to lose your money. You know what I'm saying? Gustavo Galindo says, I mean, think about Jacobs versus Benavidez or Jacobs versus Smith. This wasn't a real test for the Miracle Man. Jacobs came in thinking he was fighting the next champ, but regardless, respected Jacobs. Well, look, this was a man's first fight at 168 pounds. You know what I mean? This was his first fight at super middleweight. This was a name. This was a good name to have on his resume, regardless of what we think of the man, Baby Chavez. You know what I mean? This was a big name, and the guy was fighting basically in Chavez Jr.'s backyard. He was fighting in a pro-Mexican hostile territory, very hostile. I mean, they threw beers at the man, both fighters. You check it. So the man weathered the storm, and he ain't gonna forget this night. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure, but what do we know? What do you know? This is a fight of two Al Heyman fighters. Last I checked, who Baby Chavez and Danny Jacobs are both advised and managed by the man Al Heyman, fighting on the zone. You know what I mean? So this was probably an easy fight to make, two Al Heyman fighters, but Baby Chavez disrespected the Mexican fan base today. No question about it. Hit that thumbs up, B Marsh Boxing, and please subscribe if you're new to the channel. All right. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. face of disgust for real. Man, he was disgusted, man. That man put his hand in his face and just looked down and shook his head like SMHOMG. This kid is straight basura. You know what I mean? That ain't my kid. I'm not claiming him. Daniel Valdez says he ain't Mexican on my book. That's a funny one, Daniel. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, hell nah, he ain't. He's already getting disowned by the Mexican contingent, man. I ain't mad at you, man. This guy disrespected the Mexican fan base for sure. Redcliffe said, Virgil Ortiz is the next wave Mexican-American talent. Yeah, the kid looks good, man. Looks good. At 147, we're going to have to see him now in some step-up fights. See who, I'd like to see him fight like some former world champions, some gatekeepers, you know what I mean? Some tough SOBs at 147 to see if he's a real deal. But so far, so good. But he ain't really fought nobody. Best name on his resume is Antonio Orozco, a guy who was campaigning at 140 pounds. Tough SOB is Antonio Orozco, but got to see more from Virgil Ortiz. But the future's bright, man. But unfortunately, he ain't got the talent pool over there on Golden Boy and the Zone to see what's really good, to see if he's a real deal. You know what I mean? But hopefully, somehow, some way, he can get some fights. Like I said, man, I'd like to see him versus a guy like Robert the Ghost Guerrero right about now. That'd be a great test for him. You know what I mean? And Robert the Ghost Guerrero, if he can beat him, he's back in position to at least challenge for world titles. That's another Mexican warrior right there. He's Mexican American, but big ups to guys like Robert the Ghost Guerrero. And Guerrero it stands for warrior in Spanish. You know what I mean? So he's a true warrior, unlike this big jabroni they call Baby Chavez. Low blow champ says he got some good blow and a few strippers on the way. You remember when those fellas lost this big check and got robbed? Was it for some money and jewelry or a watch by some chicks? The night he lost to Cannoli in that pay-per-view on HBO where he lost 12 rounds to Zip. Remember that? What a joke, man. La Lacajala says Vegas had a lot to do in this fight. What do you mean by that? Daniel Valdez says Mick Mitchell Cohen don't quit. Todd French 600 says, wait, why was he even allowed to fight after dodging Nevada testing? That's what I don't understand either, man. I don't get it, man. Boxing, man, these days, and it's funny, these PED kind of situations, like with Dillian White and now Baby Chavez. The promoter of these guys, or at least who promoted this card tonight, is Eddie Hearn, just like the Dillian White situation. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's really going on, man. But this is not this is a black eye on the sport. You know what I mean? Letting a guy, Eddie Hearn was hell bent on still having this fight, regardless if Baby Chavez was on PEDs. You know what I mean? The fight was originally supposed to be in Las Vegas, and rather than find a different opponent, they was hell bent on keeping the opponent. They said, you know what? We're gonna move it to Mexico. I'm sorry, we're gonna move it to Arizona. You know what I mean? Um, Daniel Valdez says Sinaloa soft. Roy Armenta says Jacobs didn't win first round. Uh, Roy Armenta says Jacobs won one round. Yeah, but if you say so, sure. Ray Armenta says I was there and everyone threw their drinks on the stage. Yeah, that was bad, man. That was disgusting. Sean Mega, he says Mierda de Chavez. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says Martinez versus Rosales main card. No disrespect to Jacobs. Yeah, it probably could have, should have been, but you and I know Carlos Cristal Gallardo. Nobody knows who Christopher Rosales and Julio Cesar Martinez are, but everybody knows who Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is than Danny Jacobs is. Even though the fight wasn't for a world title and the flyweight card fight was, they're not going to be put on the main event, even though to me that was the real main event of the night. But they're not going to be put on the main event over Baby Chavez and Danny Jacobs. Nobody knows those flyweights. I do, but the majority of boxing fans don't. Leon De Leon says, well, at least there was Martinez fight. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit that, hit. If you was at the fight live tonight over there in Phoenix, Arizona, man, press number one. Put number one in the chat, man. Let it be known that you was out there representing for boxing at a main event. You know what I mean? You check it. If you come into this live stream listening after watching the fight, I'm sure it was an eventful night over there in Phoenix, Arizona for this fight with Baby Chavez and Jacobs. If you were live at the fight, press number one time in the chat, like Roy Armenta was. He was at the fight already then. Todd French 600 says, why does promoters keep booking him to fight SMH? Because of his name, because of who he is, because it's his pop's last name. Leon De Leon says, well, at least there were... Oh, yeah, I read that already. Carlos Cristal Gallardo hits a thumbs up. Thank you, sir. Your mama says Chavez broke his balls. Your mama says... He said it 3 times. Chavez broke his balls. I don't know what you mean by that, but... Let's keep it moving. Pablo Moreno says, no more Chavez Jr. Yes, indeed, the man quit. Trigger Happy J says, Chavez Jr. got robbed. That's what we're not going to do over here, Trigger Happy J. You sound stupid, and we're going to keep it moving from that asinine comment. Your mama says, I will quit my job Monday. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, of his balls he got robbed. Red Cliff says, Chavez Jr. and Andy Ruiz Jr. must have been training together. Absolutely, man. Both of them lackluster performances. Brandes Rojas says, I wanted him to lose as soon as I saw that stupid hair. Hey, man, he made it easy, man. The man quit in a fight that was competitive. The man just straight up and down quit. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, right. Mike 104, what's up with you, dogs? He says, you think Chavez Jr. gets another main event slot? I wouldn't be surprised. We still got to wait to see what really happened and why he really quit, you know what I mean? But this guy's a clown. He probably might, man. I don't want to see him on my TV again, you know what I mean? But, hey, it is what it is, man. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says he might get a main event at a granny show. Redcliffe says Mike Chavez Jr. never deserves a main event. He disrespected his pops and the whole sport. He absolutely did. I agree with you 100%, Redcliffe. But the powers that be might put him back in the ring again because of this. because of his name, and he still has a powerful Al Heyman as his as his manager and advisor. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he can get him fights. You know, he probably wasn't welcome on PBC, Showtime, Fox. You know, probably nothing for him there to do. So maybe the zone decided to pick him up. You know what I mean? Okay. Todd French 600 says he's far from his dad, who had that great memory of the Meldrick Taylor fight. His dad was so much grit and determination. I have no idea what that crap was. Another great fight that I like from Chavez Senior was when he moved up in weight from 130 pounds. He moved up to lightweight, and in his first fight, he fought Puerto Rican El Chapo, Edwin Rosales, and he was a smaller guy moving up in weight. And oh my gosh, did he batter the man Edwin Rosales from round one when the round started? Chavez Senior, man, put the pressure on them, relentless pressure, man. I got a video here on my YouTube channel. Just type it in. I think it's called Real Mexican Style. That's what it's called, Real Mexican Style. Type that in your YouTube search engine, B Marsh Boxing, Real Mexican Style, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and I'll break down how vicious Baby Chavez was. I'm sorry, Chavez Senior was in that fight, moving up in weight and battering the man. Edwin Rosales, who was a great fighter himself and a fellow Hall of Famer, just like Chavez Senior. Okay, where we at? And that Meldrick Taylor fight, oh my gosh. Meldrick Taylor was beating him for like 8 rounds. He was washing Chavez Jr. Rounds 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew, the body shots of pressure Chavez Sr. was putting on Meldrick Taylor. The mean body shots, the body shots was what was crippling the man. And his face started just puffing up. You know what I mean? Started puffing up, and y'all know the rest. 2 seconds left. Richard Steele. You know what happened. What's up, yo? He's in the chat. He says, what the F is this? Junior Estrada says he probably snorted a lot of yayo. Thomas Riley says he ain't built like his father. Absolutely not, man. Look at the man's physique. Look at the man's midsection. He's always looking soft, you know what I mean? Mescal Sierra says Chavez Jr. should retire and respect the sport of boxing. That's absolutely what he should do. Junior Estrella says that's why Jacob broke his nose. Woo! And had him leaking. And I think when he seen that blood dripping from his nose, rather than saying, my nose is broken, he said, my hand is broken. What's up, yo? Said I wanted to watch the fight on YouTube Live. So what you telling me that for? What's up, yo? Go find the fight. What you think? This is you think I'm showing the fight live? You think I'm crazy or something? I don't have no rights to own the fight. So if you were saying what the F is this to me, man, I should block you and boot yourself up out this live stream. You heard? This I'm not the one. Don't play with me. You check it. Talking about what the F is this. I thought you would say what the F is this, like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. really upset you. No, you mad that I'm not showing the fight? Does my channel look like it's called The Zone? Hey, man, if you want to watch the fight, man, you better go subscribe and pay your $20 per month or $100 for the year annually to watch the fight. Don't come crying on B Marsh channel talking about you wanted to watch the fight. B Marsh channel ain't never shown no fights live. You know? How do no rights to these fights? You want my channel to get taken down by the zone? Be realistic. What's up, yo? Look at your name. You goofy, man. Carlos Cristo Gallardo. What's up? I like everybody in the chat. Everybody been respectful. But what's up, yo's coming in this piece being a cornball. Don't do that, man. Hey, man, I put my video on. This video is you know it's for all ages. That's why I'm keeping it PG-13. You heard? Otherwise, man, I'd flame you up hard body. Where we at in the chat? Talking about you wanted this fight to see it on YouTube, man. Go type for it on YouTube. You're not going to see it on my channel. Carlos Crystal Gallardo says, what a waste of body for Chavez Jr. All that training for this. Man, that man didn't train. That guy didn't train. How could that man train when this guy didn't even know if he was going to fight? The fight was, he had to go to the Supreme Court to get this fight overturned so he could fight. That guy wasn't focused on this fight. How could he be focused when he's going through litigation? The guy probably had PEDs in his system for refusing to take a PED test, in the state of Nevada, that guy didn't train one bit. That's exactly why he quit. I know that. You know what I mean? Um, Junior Estrella says it was the yayo and Jacob's power made his nose bleed. Yes, yes, indeed. Top French 600 says, I would have loved to have seen what a young Chavez Sr. would have done to Oscar. He would have tightened Oscar up. Yeah, man. I didn't like those fights with Oscar, man. I didn't like them fights with Oscar, man. That was an old Chavez, man. The first fight, man, he busted up his face from round one. He was leaking like a bloody pig. You know what I mean? It was bad. It was bad. And the second fight, man, the man was getting battered again, and just had to quit in his corner. You know what I mean? I didn't like those fights for Chavez Junior, Chavez Senior, because look, man, I know it was a rite of passage. Oscar De La Hoya needed that name to get the Mexican crowd behind him because the Mexican natives didn't respect him like they did Chavez Sr., but I didn't like that one bit, man. You know what I mean? Junior Estrella's laughing. Yeah, Junior Estrella laughing. So is Todd French. Y'all laughing. You probably laughing. They laughing because of this guy. What's up, yo? Coming here, all tight and upset because he wants to watch the fight. Like my channel's called The Zone or something. Better stop playing with me. Junior Estrella says Chavez Jr. is a real clown and a disgrace to boxing. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Montezuma, what's up? He's in the chat. He says, who did Chavez bribe to get this fight? He's not at Jacob's level. Man, what are you talking about? He's not at Jacob's level, man. He was piecing Jacobs up in the third and fourth round. You know what I mean? Danny Jacobs got let off the hook, man. This fight right here is almost like that Chris Eubank versus Karbov fight 2 weeks ago, where Chris Eubank looked like he was about to get pieced up by the southpaw from Russia. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, the man, Karbov didn't quit, man. Them fellas tore his hand out the socket, his shoulder out the socket, and you could see it from the punch he threw. You could just see like in his muscles, like something ripped. You know what I mean? But Chavez Jr. on the other hand, this guy just quit at the sign of blood. You know what I mean? Um, where we at in the chat? But yeah, Montezuma, this was a good test for Danny Jacobs. It was. It was a good test for him, but unfortunately, we'll never know how this fight would have really wound up if this guy didn't quit. You know what I mean? Just like the Eubank and Karbov fight. We could say, sure enough, Karbov was piecing Eubank up in round one, but we'll never know how that fight happens unless them two fights, this one and the Eubank and Karbov get a rematch. But this particular fight, Danny Jacobs should not grant this guy a rematch. Never that. Nobody wants to see this guy in the ring again. Todd French 600 says he may never fight again because of the court injunction. True indeed. That's quite a possibility. But although the courts did allow the fight to go on, you know what I mean? Not in Las Vegas, but in Arizona. But we shall see what the future holds. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, if Chavez Jr. has any pride left in honesty, give the people their money back. He's not going to do that because he already gave Danny Jacobs a cool $1 million for coming in overweight, man. He's not going to part with his money. But hey, man, if he's really an honest dude, that's what he should do. But he's not going to do that. What's up, Yos? He's in the chat. Now he's being logical and reasonable. What's up, Yos? Asking how many rounds did it go? The fight went 4 rounds and the fifth round didn't continue. The man quit. Redcliffe says Freddie Roach was Junior's coach. He's asking, Freddie Roach was Junior's coach? How does Freddie spin the narrative into damage control? Or does Freddie completely ignore Junior? Freddie Roach, only guys that Freddie Roach is winning with right now is guys like Jose Ramirez, matter of fact, is not with them no more. He's with Robert Garcia. Only guy he has winning right now is Manny Pacquiao, man. You see Freddie Roach with any fighters, man, more than likely they're going to lose. That's just the truth. You know what I mean? It's just the truth right now at this stage of Freddie Roach's career. Todd French 600 says his dad was a beast. I don't understand what happened to Junior. You would think that he wouldn't let his dad down. You're right. Junior was tightening Jacobs up. He was opening up, and then who knows? Absolutely, I agree with you, Todd French. Junior Estrella says fans should get their money back if Chavez has dignity. He doesn't, man. He doesn't, man. We're talking about baby Chavez, man. We know what we're dealing with, what kind of character we're dealing with. Junior Estrella says Junior goes around flashing gold and fast cars. What a clown! Sure enough, he has a lot of money. He got a lot of fast cars. Hey, I'm sure he moves down there in Mexico like he's a cartel member. You know what I mean? Fancy cars, fast women. You know what I'm saying? All kind of jewelry and shines. You know, Chavez Jr. He wears his gold chains too, just like what's his name, pops, Leo Santa Cruz. You know what I mean? You check it, but at the end of the day, you know, the guy is boxing royalty's son over there in Mexico, you know what I mean? And that's what he does, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody knows he's not really built for this. Latonico says, "What's up? What's up with you, Latonico? I hope I pronounced your name correct." Junior Estrella says, "Very true. So sad." Todd French says, LMAO. He may lose that check once again in the Gentlemen's Club. He just might, man. And they're going to put it on video just like the chicks who snatched up his $1 million check, millions of dollar check that he had just laying around. You know, these bots couldn't cash the check, but what do you have your payday? And I think there was some yayo in that hotel room, if I'm not mistaken, man. I think they was, you know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, but hey, don't quote me on that, man. But this guy's a joke. Redcliffe says Chavez Jr. is gonna fight Logan Paul. Okay, aside next. He don't give a f about the fight fans. Nope, no, he don't. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says he ain't built for this. Todd French says I'm more laughing at Logan Paul. What? It's Junior Estrada is laughing. Says yes, sir. Yes, indeed. B Marsh Boxing about to seal the deal on this live stream. I salute everybody who came in this live stream, man. This was wonderful. I enjoyed my time tonight. I didn't think this Jacobs and Baby Chavez fight would be this entertaining. You know what I mean? The drama, the drama from the fans too. You know, I've been to one event, boxing event, Andre Durrell versus Uscar Tegay, where there was drama. Go check it out on my channel. You know what I mean? Drama at the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. And this event tonight reminded me just of that. You know what I mean? You check it. So this was crazy, man. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, "Thank you, man. Cool channel. Salute, man. I appreciate that. Big ups. Thanks to everybody who came through. If you're new to the channel, please share and please subscribe. You know what I mean? I appreciate all y'all coming through. Big ups to Carlos Cristal Gallardo, Junior Estrella, Todd French 600, Red Cliff, Latonico. I hope I pronounced your name right, man. Montezuma, salute to all y'all. Big up to what's up too, man. I'm sorry. What's up, yo? For for really thinking that my chat like I'd be showing the fight. Nah, man, that's not what we do over here, man. You know what I mean? You ain't have to come in here with all that aggressiveness saying what the F, like why I'm not showing the fight, you know what I mean? That's not what we do over here, man. The zone shows the fights. All I do is do the post fight coverage, you know what I mean? No doubt about it, man. Big ups to Mike 104. You already know. He says you're gonna be live tomorrow for Harrison Charlo. You know I will. Post fight review. As always, man. I cover boxing every weight class from strawweight to heavyweight, every continent from Africa to North America to Central America to Europe to Australia, everywhere, man. Although I didn't cover the Jeff Horn fight, even though I should have. I watched the fight, but it came on early in the morning, man. I had to get up and get things moving and shaking. You know what I mean? But shout out to everybody. Cristal Gallardo, you know what I'm saying? Montezuma. Big ups to everybody in the chat, you know what I mean? Mescal Sierra. Everybody who came in here, man. Too many names to mention. Low blow. Too many names to mention. We've been on here for an hour. Let me read these last few before I leave up out of here. Montezuma says Jacobs is really good. He went the distance with GGG and Canelo. Look, man, Montezuma, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Danny Jacobs has been a professional for a very long time, man. I want to see something from around 2008. You know what I mean? His career's winding down. I'm glad the guy did achieve a dream of becoming a world champion. You know what I mean? When he had the IBF strap that he barely beat for the vacant strap when he beat Sergey Devrochenko. But really and truly, to me, I'll be honest with you, Danny Jacobs has been a little disappointing. You know what I mean? He could be a much better fighter. The guy had a brilliant amateur career, didn't go to the Olympics or anything, but the guy's been, he doesn't turn up. He doesn't go that extra mile to win fights. You know what I mean? I thought he won the Triple G fight, but he could have been more aggressive in that fight to really take that fight on the cards, like how Sergey Devrochenko took it to Triple G. I think Danny Jacobs could have done the same. I was very disappointed in Danny Jacobs' effort, versus Cannoli. He was a bigger man. The guy gave up a money too, paid Cannoli, coming in a little overweight as far as not refusing to do the next day weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? That for the stipulations, the rehydration stipulations that Canoli had imposed on Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs, from the first fight that he got knocked out by Dmitry Pirog, you know what I mean? I've always been a little suspect on him. When he got dropped by feather-fisted guys like Sergio Mora, you know what I mean? The best name that he's ever beat on his resume, let's be honest, is a man by the name of Kid Chocolate Peter Quillen. Peter Quillen's a guy who started boxing at the age of 18. You know what I mean? I have nothing against Danny Jacobs. He's a good role model. The man beat cancer, came back and beat cancer. So he's a warrior. You know what I mean? Got to give him his props. But as far as boxing, to me, it's been a disappointment. And I'll keep it real with you. You know what I mean? I'll keep it real with you. He's been a disappointment. He didn't have no title defenses for his IBF strap. Beat Devrochenko, barely, and then went in and lost to the man Canoli. Look at the man Danny Jacobs versus that Polish guy. Uh, with difficult name to mention, started with the M. Ball head Polish guy. Man, that fight was in the balance. It was in the balance up until round 12 when Danny Jacobs got a knockdown. If it wasn't for the knockdown, that fight would have been a draw to me. You know what I mean? So Danny Jacobs, to me, he's okay. He's just okay. I'll just be real with you. Nothing against the guy. You know what I'm saying? I have, me personally, B Marsh Boxing, I have nothing against any boxers. I don't know these guys personally. So when you come to my channel, I ain't going to be talking about anybody just out of hatred. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking to you from a boxing perspective. Like I'm an analyst, stuff that these people on TV, the commentators won't tell you. Hey, check it. So let me read the last few comments. Red Cliff, big up, put the boxing emojis, boxing glove emojis. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, I think you was up. I think yo, what's up is Chavez Jr. incognito. Carlos Crystal, that was the comment of the night before I sign off, man. That was funny, man. Shoot, man. Todd Fresh 600 says, I'll definitely be here, my friend. Thanks for having me. Salute. Big ups to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Red Cliff says, Harrison gonna beat Charlo by UD. Place your bets now. I'm gonna do that because I got the same way. I got Harrison by not necessarily by UD, but on points. But if I do bet on Harrison, I will also bet on Charlo. I gotta hedge my bet. I gotta cover my backside. You know what I mean? Todd French 600 says, "Yep, you're right. It's time for the Miracle Man to hang up the gloves." I'm not saying hang up the gloves. No, I didn't say that one bit. I didn't say he should retire. I think there's very good fights. Maybe he could redefine himself at 168. You know what I mean? If he gets these fights with the Billy Joe Saunders, or maybe those guys on PBC. You know what I mean? If he can't get no world title fights with any of the champions on the DAZN matchroom side, guys like Callum Smith and or Billy Joe Saunders, then he should go back to PBC on Showtime or Fox and get with Caleb Plant versus or David Benavidez. All those fights for Danny Jacobs make sense and they would make great fights. You check it. Carlos Cristal Gallardo says, much respect to all. Much respect to all y'all coming through in this piece. Salute to everybody in this joint. Ramon Morales says, he made a quitter quit. LOL, no props for this. I feel you, Ramon Morales. And with that, said, I'm gone. If you're new to the channel, please share and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button on your way in and on your way out. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next boxing video. Peace. I'm gone.